Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Brother Nakwam, Watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashima Mashiach Malak Yahushai. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Yahushai. Our hearty shalom to the mighty men that go out there and labor and do the work of the Most High, presenting your body as a living sacrifice, enduring all things for the elect's sake, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there, Salakia, that may not be out there as of yet on the highways and byways, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, fasting, studying, being diligent, and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Shalom to all of the Aquath out there holding it down in the households, reverencing their husbands, being submissive and diligent, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, Leah, Esther, Judith, and the list goes on and on. All right, this is end times, right? End times. We used to do this a lot on a previous Cold Cuts channel, right? So this is the new Cold Cuts channel, so we're going to leave no stone unturned. And one of our favorite whistleblower sites we like is the End Times headlines, right? End Time headlines. 10 signs that America is imploding before our very eyes, right? 10 signs that America is imploding. Imploding meaning it is destroying itself from within. Internally, this place is going out. You can look at it. You can look at the infrastructure. You can look at the economic collapse. You can look at the hunger and the famine that's on the horizon. You can look at the confusion and the division amongst many political parties and groups throughout this country. And this place is at a place where it's never been before, right? A place where you have confusion, sedition, Edomites on Edomites, Jake on Esau, murder, crime, violence is at an all-time high. So we're going to go through this article, this from April 27th, 2021, and bring out a few precepts, right? 10 signs that America is imploding before our very eyes. And we'll go through this article. It reads, everything is great, and America is about to enter a golden new era that will be overflowing with peace, prosperity, and happiness. If you believe that, and I'm reading this article, right? If you believe that, there is a very large bridge that I would like to sell you. There is certainly nothing wrong with being optimistic about the future, and personally, I am very excited about the next chapters of my life. Right? But if you think that the United States is headed in the right direction, you are not thinking straight. And this is an Edomite putting this article out. This is not a Jake. This is not somebody from China. This isn't somebody from Korea or Russia. Right? This is a fellow Babylonian telling you, if you think that America is headed in the right direction, you are not thinking straight. Evidence of our advanced state of decline is all around us, and yet we continue to embrace our self-destructive ways. Over the next years, I have literally shared thousands of examples that show that our society is coming apart at the seams, and today I would like to share 10 more. So we're going to go through this, take a break, pull some precepts, may go back to it, right? So America, and this is Bible prophecy, America is known as Babylon the Great. And Babylon the Great is crumbling before our eyes. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 19. Brothers, kick it off with Isaiah the 19th chapter. And we're going to read verse, let's see, Isaiah chapter 19 and 11. It reads, surely the princes of Zoan are fools. The counsels of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings. So you have these modern day princes of Zoan are your modern day delegates, congressmen, senators, and leaders of Babylon the Great, of their government. Zoan was a chief city of ancient Egypt. So the modern day Zoan would be a Washington, D.C., right? Or it would actually be New York City. And as you go down, you'll read about another city called Noth, and that would be a modern day DC. So the Lord said, how can these top people with these master degrees of engineering, of what is this? Sociology, of geopolitics, of political science. How come they can't save America from the crumbling state that it's in? How come they can't come together, come up with a plan to try to restore this government? Because you're going to find out that the Most High shut this place down. And it's not a damn thing that these Edomites can do to stop it. And we're going to read about that. Let's read on. Verse 12. Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now. And let them know what the Lord of hosts hath proposed upon Egypt. So the Lord said, well, where's all your top men at? Right? See if they can stop the wrath that I'm bringing to this place. The princes of Zoan are become fools. The princes of Noph, this is New York and DC. Noph, when you look it up, it's the spiritual capital of America, right? It was a place in ancient Egypt, but Noph is pretty much your DC now. And Zoan is pretty much your New York City. And these are the top two cities for the political route that America has. So it reads again, Isaiah 19 and 13. The princes of Zoan are become fools. The princes of Noph are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the stay of the tribes thereof. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. So the Lord has mingled a perverse spirit, meaning a demon. Let's just get straight to the point. The Lord sent demons down to influence the mind of these political leaders to have them make wrong decisions when it comes to their budget, when it comes to how they deal economically, when it comes to how they deal in a military standpoint, when it comes to how they control the sheeple, the masses of people. At one point in time, America used to have the world in the palm of his hand, right? At one point in time, America had everything under control. Everybody obeyed the government. Nobody rebelled. You didn't have protesting and marching like you do now. They didn't have that in the 50s, in the 40s, in the 30s, right? Everything was smooth as butter. But now, the Lord has removed that spirit of prosperity and progression from Babylon the Great and has replaced it with a perverse spirit. And what is the job of this demon, this perverse spirit? It reads, Isaiah 19 and 14 again. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. And the drunken man in his vomit, hey man, that man is unproductive. And he's constantly on his way out. So the Lord has this 10 signs of America imploding documented in the Bible. All right, let's go back to this. So let's get the first sign. All right, the first sign of America imploding. Number one, it says New York City, and that's your modern day Noph or Zoan, right? New York City, and let me prove that. Right, let's see if I can pull a blue letter up on this. Oh, Salakia. I'll have to take this. Okay, Salakia. Right? Bear with me with all these so-called notifications. Right? Isaiah chapter 19. Right? I'll use this for the time being. Isaiah chapter 19. And I actually want 13. Salakia. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 19 and 13. To show you about Noph and Zoan. Right? Let's prove all things. So Zoan again is an ancient city in ancient Egypt. Right? It reads, place of departure, an ancient city of Lower Egypt called Tanis by the Greeks, located on the eastern bank of the Tanitic branch of the Nile, the capital of the Shepherd dynasty, built 7 years after Hebron and existed before Abraham and the dwelling place of Pharaoh at the time of Exodus. That's one of the chief cities. That's like your modern day New York, right? Now you also have Noph. All right, so Noph is your modern day DC. See, Noph, the capital of Upper Egypt. All right, another name for Memphis the capital city of Egypt. So what is the capital city of modern day Egypt? DC. So the Lord is calling out Washington, DC. He's calling out New York. He's calling out these top legislative people and these top people of the government. And he's pretty much saying you don't have any answers. You don't have any answer for what I'm putting on the earth. Right? So let's go back to this. Turn that back on. All right. Isaiah chapter 19 and 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or a tail, branch or a rush may do. Meaning this entire economy is going to collapse. From the man up top, he's not going to have any work. From the man on bottom, he's going to be eaten out of a trash can. Both of them. All right. So let's go back to this article. All right. See if we can go back to that. All right. New York City was once one of the most beautiful cities in the entire world. But now, giant mountains of trash. Right? And as we go through this list, you'll see how it compares to how ancient Rome fell. When you look up the similarities between ancient Rome and modern day America, they were established in the same way and they're going out in the same way. Overexpansion, devaluement of currency, you understand, military expansion, civilian unrest. These are the same ways that ancient Rome was taken out. So they're tacking off right now. New York City was once one of the most beautiful cities in the entire world. But now giant mountains of trash are piled up everywhere and over 2 million rats are rampaging all over the place. And them rats are going to bring disease and pestilence, man. You know? Are rampaging all over the place. And in the attempt to turn the tide, city officials, these are the princes of North, plan to create quote-unquote city cleanup corps. New York City is being forced to deploy an army of 10,000 cleanup workers in response to worsening problems with trash and rats. And they're not talking about that on the news, right? They're talking about Times Square. They're saying buildings are back at maximum capacity. All you need is your COVID mask. But they're not talking about the internal corruption and the imploding things that are causing this place to go out. Hey, when you got trash and rats, that's going to bring, again, pestilence, disease, you understand? All types of hell are going to come on the masses of people. And there's millions upon millions of people that dwell in this city. And that's how ancient Rome was. Man, you had something in ancient Rome called the crisis of the 3rd century. During the crisis of the 3rd century, they also had a massive amount of pests like rats, mice. They had trash, and that was one of the downfalls of that place, man. Before Rome fell, it eventually got restored, but it was taken out again, right? So let's read on. A newly created cleanup corps will be tasked with fighting the piles of garbage on the streets of the Big Apple, with complaints surging by 150% between March and August last year. After a $100 million cut to the city sanitation budget, filth and rodent infestations have become a common sight, with data revealing that waste tonnage rose 15% by the end of March compared to the early months of the pandemic. So it's getting nasty out there, right? You go to certain parts of New York, it's dumpsters full of trash. Nobody takes them out. It's rats. It's like that in Baltimore. There's rats the size of raccoons, man. And they don't even if you kind of see them in the alley, they don't move out the way. They want you to move out the way, right? So you got rats, you got flies, people getting bit by flies. All hell is breaking loose, man. Can't get this light. Right? Part 2. In 2020, homicide rates increased by an average of more than 30% in major U.S. cities. And now homicide rates in many of those cities are higher. In 2021, a Baltimore sanitation worker was shot yesterday on his trash truck. You see that? See that? Brother got shot on this trash truck, man. So you got disease coming up. You got murder at an all-time high. This place is crumbling from the inside out. Hey, the Lord said in Matthew, all right, let's get this in Matthew chapter 24. right, about this murder rate increasing. Matthew chapter 24 and 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So the love of many waxing cold is that hatred that was once kind of controllable to a certain extent. Now people don't care, man. People don't give a damn. They will murder you. And these trash trucks run in the morning, man. They run like, what, 4 in the morning to 6 in the morning? You mean to tell me you got somebody with so much hatred in their heart, they stand up all night, getting up early to kill a man on this trash truck route? That's the love of many waxing cold, right? That's the iniquity abounding, all right? This is what the Lord said. The Lord said in 2 Timothy, right? Let's get this in 2 Timothy, chapter 3 and 1. It reads, "This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves." Right? And this is how we living in America. Everybody love theyself. Everybody want likes. Everybody, I'm the shit. Right? I'm that guy. I'm a bad bee. What else people be talking about? Right? I'm that nigga. I'm the guy. Whatever the case may be. People love themselves. Right? With, like I said, with all of these selfies and selfie sticks, and you got to get 1,000 likes, and people damn stripping naked just to get 1 like. People selling out, you know, covetous. Yeah, this society is covetous in America, man. You know, everybody got to have the latest car, the latest clothes, the latest Jordans, the latest TV, keeping up with the Joneses. Boasters, right? Proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents. You got people killing their parents, man. Unthankful, unholy, right? Without natural affection. Right? It says without natural affection. That's homicide rate at an all-time high. Truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, pulling out a 32 and murdering your own people. Homicide rate is at an all-time high, just like ancient Rome. People are fierce, man. They'll cut you off in the middle of the road. You have a damn 3 babies in a car, and they'll make you swerve off because they want to go take their son to basketball practice. Hey, people are fierce, man. You know, it might be a traffic jam. Somebody get out, pop the trunk, and let off a few stray ones in the air. You know, people kick your damn door down and kidnap your son. Despisers of those that are good, right? So let's go back to this. So you have homicide rate at an all-time high. All right, the city, and this is Baltimore, right? And unfortunately, we dwell in Baltimore. This is where the Baltimore camp is. And it's the most dangerous city in Babylon. The city had, and we teach in one of the most dangerous parts, man. We teach on Penn North, Cream on the 33rd, right? Hey, Baltimore get bad sometimes, man. You know, the city has 94 homicides in less than 4 months. That's madness. 94 homicides with less than 4 months. To the south, DC, and we in DC too, we teach in DC, has 2 more homicides yesterday, bringing its tally up to 62. Right? Up 41%. To the north, 41%. To the north, Philly has 156. So this place is over, man. Right? People killing each other. You hear gunshots every night. Even Edomites are killing Edomites, man. You got Edomites drowning their babies, killing each other at work. Massive school shootings. It's a massive shooting every damn week, man. Massive shooting in Walmart. Massive shooting in the shopping mall. Massive shooting in the movie theater. Massive shooting in a public school. Right? And the Lord put these demons out on the earth. Right? So you got disease, pestilence, homicide. What's another thing that, again, we're going through 10 signs that America is imploding before our very eyes. Number 3, in cities all over the U.S., police officers are leaving the force in record numbers. And people used to be proud to be a police officer, man. You had 6-year-olds, I want to be a police officer. Hey, the police officer used to come to school, man. and kind of give you the ins and outs about to be the police officer, and you know, you want to kind of take pictures with him. You know, he might have took his hat off, kind of put on your head. You know, you might have been drawing in kindergarten and said, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a police officer. And that used to be a thing, man.